I ain't gonna expose. I'm not like that. I'm not a snitch. Virginity. It's a hush topic.
Yeah. They love me.
Let's see if your parents raised you.
It's deeper than the physical.
What up, fam? Welcome back to the Juxtaposition, everyone. Welcome back to the Juxtaposition, everybody. I'm your host, Nana, alongside my two lovely co-hosts,
Janet
and Bernice.
And today we have a special guest, guys. I know we've been coming with
right,
guests, like, you know,
and they're cool,
right?
People,
great people. I've been knowing this guy my whole life. You know, Shoreham raised. We're both Shoreham raised. Jane Finch as well. So he's special, dear to my heart. We got Terence Penny in the building.
On now.
Hello. What's poppin'?
Terence, man, how are you? Sorry, you want me to?
I gotta get used to this. I gotta get used to this.
Now you go on stage all the time, man.
No, I'm good. I've been busy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I've been really busy. I think that's the best way to put it. It's not bad busy.
Yeah,
but it's busy.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
All right. First question is: tell us who Terence Penny is.
Terence Penny is Shoreham raised.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
You see on my forearms if you're watching the video. But I'm a child and youth worker. You see, I'm
a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, seriously, it's true. And I'm also a rapper in the Jane Finch community. So I make some music. Pretty much that's me.
He's doing it big. Don't get it twisted. He's doing it.
He's humble.
Big. Yeah, he's humble right now.
Like
but
he doesn't do too much.
Yeah,
like,
but he's out there.
He's out there, not even
there.
just here. Out there in other countries and stuff like that. So
let's talk about you growing up as a youth in Shoreham, as you explain your Shoreham raised. Let's talk about that. I know a lot of people know where Shoreham is in terms of Toronto, but for those who are outside of this country, let's explain to them what.
Depends. Nana can also. I don't know. It depends. I feel like
this
is two guests at this point
right.
bruh, you gonna put me on the hot. I'm gonna interview you. You know what I'm saying?
From your perspective, as a youth growing up.
Yeah. I had a great experience growing up in my community. I'm not saying. I've had some, crazy experiences, some good ones, but I've been good. It's been good for me to have. I have had so many people in my life kind of pour into me. Sure. Whether you're from the neighborhood or you in a church or it's always been. I've had weighed out the good and bad, but it's kind of made me who I am today. I feel like if you can. If you can, I guess, conquer Shoreham. If you can live in Jane and Finch. You can be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's a state of mind.
Yep.
It's a Jane and Finch state of mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I kind of carry that. Wherever I go.
Since it's like a badge of honor.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
And sometimes I ask myself that question. Sometimes I'd be like, it has this bad stigma and stuff like that. So it's like sometimes you don't want to say you're from this area, or sometimes it's a badge of honor maybe look like, why are you repping?
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, bro. Sometimes I can't lie. I used to be, the more and more I got out of Shoreham, I was a bit nervous about that. So more times people say, yo, where you live? I say, yo, Big Man live, Jane and Steele. Yeah, Jane. University Heights.
Yeah, because
you never. People want to ask you that because people think you're affiliated and whatnot. Right? And it's so it can really go in a way that can be very. Good for you because they kind of wonder, how did this guy get out of there? Yeah. Or they more wonder okay, maybe this guy's on something or whatever. Yeah. So more times, I've been in positions where people would think that, wow, I'm doing the most craziest, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I'm really not. Yeah. So you can be from the hood, but it doesn't mean you was doing what's going on in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even if your friend was doing it, I'm going to say the peer pressure wasn't crazy for me, so, so I don't know. That's kind of my thing.
Even living in the neighborhood, I would just want to ask, what was your favorite thing as a youth, living?
Yeah,
cops and robbers. Cops and robbers. Manhunt, cops and robbers. Back to school barbecues.
Oh wow!
I passed by. I saw a jumping castle. I'm actually gonna go slide over there. I don't know. There's one right there. One thing about this neighborhood that I love. Is that no matter who was throwing a party, it doesn't matter if you don't know the person. Go step over there, go get your food, your macaroni salad and your oxtail, whatever, go hold the vibes. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I've grown up knowing everybody. Through that, now it's different. I'm seeing different faces here, and I feel a little taller. I don't know, maybe because I was shorter. I don't know. I'm not really. And I'm not a tall guy. I'm 5'7" on a good day, but you know what I'm saying? Depending on if I'm wearing forces or not, but really and truly. like you go around and you be seeing people and it's just kind of like, you know, like it is what it is. So I'm about to go slide over there and see what's going on. You know, I may know somebody. And if I don't, then I'm straight. Yeah. I show them my forms. This is my ID. You don't know me? Yeah. You don't know me? Check my arms.
You know, the crime is they look at you like, who's this guy? But like you're thinking like, bruh, I've been living here.
Exactly.
Like,
excuse me.
You.
Yeah.
Like,
that happened to me one time actually. Still, I'm not gonna lie.
Bro,
a man walking to me, so yo, big man, who are you? I said, what?
Exactly.
Excuse me.
You know me?
Yo.
That question.
And then one of my friends, you know, one of my childhood friends, they said they even looked at him. They like this like, you know, like gave him like a death watch. Like, yo, just get out of here. Like, it's not, you know, excuse. You know, and I was so shocked. I said, wow, I've reached this state in my life where, you know,
I should be known.
Yeah.
I know.
So even though if I'm not from here, I'm, you know, I still try to like, you know, my experiences are all here. So, you know, that kind of carries me and pushes me wherever I go.
Yeah, experience carries for a long time.
So with music being like, I guess like your now main thing that you're doing, at what age did you start to take it more seriously?
For me, 21. I'm 26 right now. And the reason
that's
why,
pretty young still.
the reason why, apparently in Shoreham, I didn't know, but people say I used to rap in Shoreham. I do not recall this, but some old Jamaican man, you know, but I don't know, you know, it's not Pops. But yeah, anyways, they would be like, yo, you're always rapping. I said, what?
Me?
And they always like called Tone and all of them were like, yo, oh, you know, yeah, we got videos of you rapping and stuff like that. Oh, wow. I have no recollection, no cognitive ability to recall any. But apparently, you know, like, yeah, you know, at 21, I can recall.
Right.
The reasoning as to why is I learned how to articulate myself better through, you know, songs than sometimes, you know. Like I've always had a temper growing up, and I was kind of misunderstood in how I would speak. So as I learned to put it within music, you know, it was better. I was able to put get my message across a lot more better. So
for sure. So what made you decide that you would not like follow like the typical route of a rapper, like the stereotypical rapper?
What's that stereotypical?
Well, you talking
what
about
people say, like
talk about
drugs. We for my Ghanaians here.
I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna do all of this. What made you go?
That's not my reality. I'm not a liar. You know, I was not shooting nobody.
Right.
You know, I've never smoked weed in my life. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I were to do that in my chest, I know I'm false. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's easy. It's harder to keep up with a lie than to live with your truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
bro. A lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah.
Because there's people. Look, we've seen people like innocent. They look innocent.
Yeah.
Their environment is bad,
Correct.
just like us. But they grow up and then they're talking about this stuff.
And it's like how? Like I don't understand. I don't understand. I do not recall you doing this. You were doing the suicides with me. Yeah, no, it's true. I recall. Yeah. No, I can't do that. It would be for me personally. Like it's so much easier to be myself than it is to really just pretend like I'm somebody that I'm not. It's hard. It's very, very hard. You know.
Right.
So I don't know. I never really cared. You know, or adhered to that. You know, I maybe it's also my upbringing. I've had, you know, I had a lot of people. You know, I know a lot. Trust me, people would peer pressure me from like 12, 11, 10. You know, after after I stole like Nana's bike multiple times growing up. You know, people will peer pressure me. It's not asking me. You don't recall that?
I definitely don't recall that.
I remember I stole your bike one time. I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid. Yes.
Telling you now.
Yes, this is what is the scripture? Confess your sins to one another, for there is healing. I have definitely stole one of your bikes. I recall.
No, but what a lot of people don't know is that you weren't this goody two shoes person.
No, I wasn't.
I heard this guy used to go to St. Augustine, have fights with.
Yeah, but I never was considered. I was never. You know, Eve, your sister, actually. Ooh, I don't know if she recalls. Something happened in grade 2 with me. Yes, no, that got me kicked out of school. I got expelled, and they put me in a section 23 class, the behavior classroom.
Wow.
So like, I remember. I don't know, Eva. I hope you're watching this. I'm sorry. You know. But basically what happened was I just came off of suspension. I'm fresh from the can.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm jumping out for recess. When the school that I went to, there was this big like, kids would always jump off of like the ledges up in the air and run up for recess. I don't know if you recall that at St. Augustine, but that was a thing. Yeah. One day I jumped and I didn't see who was under me. Ooh. And it happened to be your sister. It was Eva. And I jumped and knees was on Eva's shoulders. Boom. And I looked and I said, yo, I'm going outside for recess, but I'm very sorry. Anyways, that was a 1 week suspension, and I never went back to school again. At school, yeah, it was crazy.
Really?
I don't know if Eva recalls that, but she.
But wasn't that an accident?
Yeah, but I was getting suspended often.
Oh, okay.
So they were tired.
That is your last chance.
Yeah, they were tired. Yeah, I was. No, I would. Yeah, they were tired.
Because what school did you go to after?
I went to St. Jerome's from grade 2 to grade 8. And I was put in the section 23 classroom, behavior classroom, from grade 2 to grade 8. But I got integrated when they realized, oh, he's not
a bad kid.
Yeah.
You know, I had some experiences at home. I was dealing with a lot of like domestic violence and frustrations like that. So I took it on a lot of kids at school. And when I did that, you know, like they were asking me, why are you like this? I just would hold that, wouldn't say why.
Right.
Yeah. And they just, you know, due to that landed me in those section classes. So I had a lot of like CYWs who were supporting me. That gave and, you know, poured into me, and ironically enough, now I'm pouring into them.
I was just gonna ask, is that why you probably poured? You wanted to pour back in?
Yeah, exactly. So I
It's
had
so
a lot
important.
of from grade 2. So grade 2 was like an 8 or 9 year old. Yeah. So imagine an 8 or 9 year old who is pressed about everything. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so and you sometimes live in a Shoreham. You know, although you know we had a great experiences, there weren't always great experiences that happened. Some friends were dying at young ages. There were shootings happening. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, that was all that mixing up makes me a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So did you find that people would put stereotypes on you, even though that's not the direct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's one of the, like, do you have a story that you can recall where it kind of like shocked you, like, how, like, I'm not even like that? Or an experience.
I'm going through my folder right now.
That's how you know it's a big folder.
I'm going through my folder. Now I have a lot where just people just thought like I was very what do you call it?
Misunderstood?
Yeah, I was very misunderstood. So I guess I can't think off the top of my head right now, but I have had a lot of situations. I can't answer that because there's too much. There's too much where and then they realized I was more. Especially when I went to the. Okay, actually, I got one. You know, going to the section 23 class when I got kicked out of the St. Augustine, a lot of people. You know, this behavior class had a stigma like these are the big bad kids from the hood. You know what I'm saying? The school was primarily Filipino and like Italian, and the parent I didn't know, but like the parent association of the school hated the fact that this behavior classroom was in their community. Why are you bringing these thugs to the school?
Wow.
So I had for me to get integrated was very hard. I had this teacher, Mr. DeSandy, who played a huge part in having me get integrated. He was fighting for me. He's like, yo, we don't want these cockroaches here. Wow. That's what he was telling me. Like, yeah, apparently people would say stuff like that.
This is in St. Jerome's?
Bro, this is in St.
Where is St. Jerome's?
It's at Keelan Shepherd. It's still a black area, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, but like, yeah, there's a BSW beside it. It's black, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, people would say stuff like that, or these hoodlums and stuff like that. They don't know what's going on. They don't know me, you know what I'm saying? So if there was a fight, like sometimes if there was a fight in the school or someone wanted to try me, they wouldn't try me because I had the behavior stigma. And more times I knew I would lose in the fight, but I just worked it like I worked it. Yeah, but you know what? It was still always a disadvantage because they always looked at me like, as a thug.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought as I'm growing up now, I've realized that, but like it definitely I would say if that answered your question.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It did. It's unfortunate how like people have this stereotype and you're not even like that. They don't give you a chance to even like explain or to show yourself, and they just automatically like, yeah, that's a thug, and that's it.
A lot of people, like, for you to know why you acted the way you acted, a lot of kids are acting the way they act because their home is bad.
They're kids.
Exactly.
They're kids.
And we forget.
You know how many times your auntie Maggie was trying to. There's a reason. There's times I lived with her. You know, for months. You know what I'm saying, and she would like instill a lot of like, like things like a lot of she would kind of talk to me a lot about like like making it out of your neighborhood or being a better situation, and so we spoke and we kind of had a lot of those great conversations, which I owe to her. Like I appreciated.
Yeah, you guys have a good relationship.
Great relationship, even so it was always kind of like when I've had that's another person that was in my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like she made me breakfast, and when she made me breakfast, I was blessed. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm tuned in. And that was the routine.
Right.
So before, after basketball practice, and etc. So
So like with rapping, I know that of course like you love it now and that's the thing that you cherish the most. Were there times where you felt like you just wanted to quit because people didn't support you?
Like 5 minutes ago? Every other day, man, it is stressful. Every other day, like, it depends. Like, it just ebbs and flows with this music thing. Like, there'll be moments, like, like I remember, like, before COVID, like literally before COVID hit, I put a song, it was called 2020, and it was doing really well. The traction was growing up. And then I got sponsored by the North Face at that same time. And I was going to like Austin, Texas, Europe, and other festivals. Just doing my like really on a steamrolling. You know what I'm saying? But doing these fashion shows, man. Like me, I'm not fashionista, but I'll do it as long as the money's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was sported. Don't worry. All of this, And COVID hit, and that made things a little bit difficult. Then the online shows hit. Okay, RBC, you want to do a show together? Sure. That's all happening and whatnot. But it happens where it's like ebbs and flows. It's very stressful, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, there'll be a drought, like where things are not happening, and you got to be able to know what, create from that place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's still a place that you're at, and people, as long as you're a human, someone can experience or understand or sympathize whatever they want to do as their endeavor. So like it's always there's times where things are high and things are low. Like I just put out a song, a song called Blessed, and it's like thank you. First time I sang it a little bit, I said I didn't know I could do that.
Yes, I'm blessed.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really singing, but I tried to sing. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
on the Mr. Vegas thing.
Hey,
those ones. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, like that song this is the quickest. Like
what's that? 100K?
It's almost like 77K.
Yeah.
So like I never had something go up so quickly.
Well, since we're on that, how did that song come about? Because the guy is from Ghana, right?
That's my cousin. Actually, I didn't know. I had a cousin in Ghana the whole time that made music. I had no clue.
So how did you connect?
Okay, so my mom went to Ghana. When she went, she's like, "Oh, do you know you have a cousin in Ghana? His name is Brother, but they call him Striker. Striker. That's his name. You do music. You should collabo. So their moms, you're like, yeah, like they got it. So then after that, she showed me his visuals. Like, it's like he can really. I'm like, he actually is. Yeah. It's like, he's a Comerican. So I said, okay, like sure, I know. We're sorry. I don't know if I'm saying it properly, but yeah, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, like. Let's link up. And we just kind of built off of that. But I had the song Blessed written. I just didn't know. I had like a verse written for it.
Right.
And I said, okay, come hop on that. Like, sure. Like, if you can, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, as he wrote his verse, like, I kind of was like, ooh, this feels good.
Feel good. Yeah.
So then I just started singing that little part. And then, like, like, it just kind of turned into the hook. And then from that point, we're like, oh, this is a song. Like, this is really...
Yeah.
Because there's some things that he does that I've never done before that he brought out of me. There's things that I do that, Yeah, so we're just kind of like, all right, bet. Like, yo, why don't we just kind of, like, feed off of that? So we made, like, a lot of music together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah.
So be prepared. Be on the lookout.
Yes.
So wait, since we're on music, sorry.
Yeah.
When are you going to drop a tape? Like,
Yeah, man.
When are you going to... come back with the tape, like.
He's like, wait, don't tell me that.
It's harder. It's easier to drop songs than it is to drop tapes. For sure. Because people listen more to songs
than to whole.
And then once you catch them with a song, then they're more able to listen to the tape.
Yeah.
But if you don't catch them with a record,
then
there's not like
what am I gonna go back? Yeah, big one, just cool it,
Yeah.
So it's expensive to just release a big body of work. I have bodies of work, but it's expensive to release it unless you don't have a big track. What music is so expensive?
Yeah, a lot of people think it's just like you go and
you put more in than you
get out.
Give me some like the structure of what you're paying for.
Okay, so you gotta pay for
studio time.
For anyone who's a local artist, I'll be watching this.
Come on.
I'm speaking to you.
This is for you.
Basically, you gotta purchase the beat. Okay. And if you even if you go on YouTube, you gotta buy like this. You don't want to buy like maybe the exclusive rights to the beat. Not no $10 or $20. You can't rip the beat off of YouTube because then the producer will come for you. You know what I'm saying? So that say that's a good $200 USD for that, which is okay. Sure, I'll work with that.
Yeah.
You go to the studio, you record it. That's maybe depending, maybe $60 to $70 an hour.
Right.
So you do 2-hour session for one song, and then after that, you have to pay for the mixing and mastering. That's another, about $350 for that. What are we at so far? 800 probably.
Yeah, probably.
Oh and then a music video. Now most music videos, some 15 to 2,000.
Woo.
for that. If you
And
want
I'm
a
sure
good,
Bless was
if
a
you
lot.
want, yeah, but I knew the guy. But if you don't know the guy,
You're gonna be.
and most guys say I don't know that guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know you.
And if I don't know, so that's another 2,000. And then
Wow.
on top of that, you have to promote the video.
Right.
It's promo dollars. So you want to say if you had a budget of like $1,000 to $2,000, you want to know how to use that properly. So I think I'm at what 4.
I was gonna say like
4K?
4.
And that's for like an independent artist.
Bro,
you know
I
what I'm
did
saying?
not know
Now,
that.
if it's a bigger scale, certain bands are paying, obviously, you know what I'm saying?
Higher.
Yeah,
for
some
sure.
people can pay like 50,000 for one record.
But how about the return?
It depends. Sometimes you can. I'll give you an example. So I did a song called Freedom, and the song has like 5,000 views or something like that. But it's one of my highest returning songs to this day.
How
People book
so?
me for that till now.
Really?
Yeah, they book me. You're the guy that, especially being a youth worker,
Right,
in those
Freedom,
spheres, that demographic of people.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just now starting to finally get into more like Ghanaian art places because of or like I guess like I would say like Afro swingish, Afro beatish. Like I'm just now starting to get bookings for that, and it's because of things like Bless. Like I had 2 bookings because of that recently, recently.
Wow.
But more times because of Freedom, I was doing a lot of like social events, like the City of Toronto, or the Provincial Advocates for Children and Youth. And they put their song in the documentary and etc. And so like till this day, and because people hear it, like we have this thing, and we want to so on and so forth. Can you come and perform it? So I always, even though it's one of my lowest viewing, it's the most paying till now. So even artists, if your video is low on views, it does not matter. It depends on who's watching it, because sometimes that can pay more than the guy that's made 1 million views on one record. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind.
That's a good thing to keep in mind.
Don't worry about the views. Don't worry about the views. Worry about who's viewing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The crazy thing, I'm going.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
You know what the crazy thing is? Like sometimes within myself, I can look at the views within audio and YouTube are different, but so I'm going to talk about YouTube. I look at the views on YouTube and be like, damn,
nobody's watching.
No one's watching. But I heard someone say if you have 300 cult followers,
Oh my gosh.
or 400, man, you know how much money you can make off that.
Okay, you make
small?
a juxtaposition hat, and the 300 people are watching.
Exactly.
Now you times the hat by $50, and then
you got the money.
now they're your supporters going out into the highways and byways.
Right.
You know what I'm
Real
saying?
supporters.
Sharing. Why am I buying a shirt why am I buying a whatever with these guys on it? And they're gonna wonder who are those faces, but they promote you at that point, right? So
right.
That is
It's
very
important.
true.
it doesn't matter about your numbers in terms of how many people are watching. This matters on who's watching and how engaged and are you relating and building a relationship with them. If they feel like a direct to consumer, that's what they call it, then you won. Which is like they feel like they're your connect, like they've bought into this product, or they feel like they know you.
Right.
But that also comes with boundaries, because some people just don't know how to chill. So
that's the thing.
I've watched people definitely, and
just
they
second
feel
big money,
like
not my
they
friend.
want your whole life.
Yeah,
You're
no,
like,
just
wait,
chill.
just
Beyonce does a great job of that. You know what I'm
She
saying?
does.
We don't know a thing about Beyonce,
No.
but we know everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That we think we know. You know,
Right.
she only allows us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
You think you know everything about her, but she's like, you don't know enough
You don't.
or nothing
Yeah.
at all. Right.
And yet she's like, of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how did it feel when people started to recognize you in public?
How did it feel? How does it feel? I don't know.
Do you ever
Depends.
sit in that though?
or you just kind of you just like
Yeah, like as long as, because but I've been on the bus for so long. So if a man came, your song did this for me. Oh, bless,
Wow.
So I'm on the bus too. You know what I'm saying? Human too. Like I work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a full time artist, or you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times it's like you're human. Like it's not really that serious. Where you know what I'm saying?
you try to hide.
No, I take photo.
Some people be like, I just want to ride a bus
I
today.
feel like
I'm just trying to ride a bus.
people get
Yeah.
like they lose the humility once they get to a certain
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and like
Also, you know what? It's hard though, because sometimes you can be overbeared by people, and people expect you to be like, you ever seen that video with Justin Bieber where there's these fans that were at his house?
Oh, yeah, I've seen
all day
that.
and all that. All right, the man's tired. I want to just suckle.
let him
But
be.
now he will be seen as somewhat as he handled that very well.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're really tired and you won't handle it very well. Are you a bad guy?
Right.
No, you're just tired. Some people
Yeah.
just need to know that there's boundaries with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not it's not always like that. Like, I actually recently learned that for myself. Like I was in Miami 3 weeks ago. I was in Miami. And I came. Me and OT Genesis was in the same hotel, and he was not a nice person. I first passed by him, And if OT Genesis is listening, somewhere, shape, and I'm talking to you. I was walking with my fiance, and I saw him, and I didn't most time when you see a famous person, you won't catch that it's them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For some, it's just the TV makes them look different. You know what I'm saying? So I seen him, and then I came across him. I said, "Oh, yo, like you're mad familiar." I'm not catching on who it is. I'm not to be disrespectful. He just was muttering something under his mouth and just ignored me. And I'm just like, whatever. You're at the same hotel. It's not that serious. I came across Jeezy. I didn't recognize it was Young Jeezy at the time. And he was mad chill about it. And it's Young Jeezy and it's OT Genesis. Let's do the math. You know what I'm saying?
Different,
you do the crip walk and people, are excited. Someone's actually, I'm rapping. Anyways, I got beef with OT. But anyways, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
I didn't think about that.
No,
in
that's
terms
fucking
of
happens.
Well, yeah, it's true. Like
he was probably tired.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you're right. Like some people, like they don't deal with it properly. When you're tired, you're just like, yeah, I'm tired. I don't have time to be entertaining people. But let's get into the aspect of Christianity. And I know you probably get this a lot in terms of your faith and then people attaching your faith to you being a rapper, so they'll call you a Christian rapper. Do you ever feel like that's kind of like, do you get tired of being labeled as that? Do you feel like it's boxing you in?
I don't really care.
Yeah.
And my reasoning is because I'm a Christian. I'm a rapper. I hope that answers your question. Like, I only will speak on if this is my worldview, like, I'm going to speak about it, about my faith in Jesus and whatnot, and who he is to me and whatnot, which is obviously a progressive sanctification.
Yeah.
Oof, that was hard to say. But like with that being said, like like as I'm growing and I'm learning more about my faith, you'll hear something like some of those things, in my music.
Right.
I think Lecrae said this. It was a bar that I love. It's like, if Wu-Tang could spit 5% gems, I can talk about him who died for my sins. And he was talking, and it was just interesting because it's like, like I can share my faith in my music and not have a problem with that. Right. Or there'll be times where you may not even necessarily hear it. But like in a song, even in the song Blessed, like, I'm talking about legit, like, how my faith, I'm talking about, it was personal to me because I was talking about like, there's a lot of stuff that happened to a lot of people around me, but the grace of God has pushed me through all of this. So like, yes, I am blessed. I don't know about you, but I know about me. It's only God that protects me. And I was only saying that because, growing up, and I think you can attest, and some of the people that we have come across, they're not in the best position.
Right.
So, I was feeling a little bit frustrated with my position, and I was just not being grateful for where I am even now. But it's like at the end of the day, like, compared to there's a lot of people who are able to even be, or who are dying to be in your position. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, just know that you are kind of like, God has blessed you and, be grateful, pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And that's where that kind of like idea came from, So, you didn't hear me, quote, a million scriptures to you,
right.
But, someone who is not paying attention, like I think one of the psalmists spoke about how like, I forgot what the chapter was. Like, I'm preaching, but it was just like he was talking about like, I was kind of like, I felt a little bit stressed out with things that are going on in the world, and my enemies look like they're doing so much well, but until I went into the house of the Lord, where I was kind of like refreshed and rejuvenated. I don't know where that is in Psalms, but it's there. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't know where
it's until I came into the house of the Lord that I kind of like was like I fixed up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what blessed was for me too. Was like I was feeling discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Me and you will say I both know people who have been who are very much far in their career and stuff like that. And it's like until I came into the house of the Lord, I kind of realized like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was an exhale. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
So one time I had a conversation with Jerome. Jerome. But I don't think you
Which
remember.
One?
Tall Jerome.
Oh, yeah.
He's right here. I don't think you remember. I don't think he'd remember. But he told me a story how, like, I think you were telling him, like, yo, I don't have no fear walking through the neighborhood. Like,
I don't.
I'm blessed.
Yeah,
like,
blessed.
Like,
why?
So.
But 100%.
No,
what the heck? Yeah.
Yeah. But the question
I really don't. Yeah.
You seeing us seeing like community leaders like passing away
recently,
by gun violence and stuff like that.
That tripped me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
How does that make you feel? Because people are seeing you on Instagram.
You're the positive guy. What happened to you?
Exactly.
So, but anybody can catch it. Anybody, so walk with your stick too. If anything, yeah. No, I understand. I thought about that. I was talking to my sister about that. I said, "Yo, everybody can catch it now.
No,
it doesn't matter, innocence, And I was saying, yo, rest in peace, to Sam especially, and his family, Sam has done a lot of things in his community, and he's always been a light there. So it was very, very saddening to see.
Very.
And it's just kind of like, when you think about that, it's just insane, and it's that's why you can only, be good to, who's around you, do what you can. But your time is your time, you know what I'm saying? And it was a very unfortunate time. And, my heart goes out to the family. And I just think that, like, really and truly, like, if God is with you, you know what I'm saying? So let him protect you, and I don't know, man. That situation really did impress me. It did. I thought I was talking to my sister about it for a minute. I'm just like, yo, maybe the community guys need a little, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the taser or something, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, because it's like, bruh, like, yo, like, this is for your life, and really, and it depends. Like, I do believe in self-defense, like, especially to stand your ground. I know that's not a Canadian law, but if somebody it is. Hell yeah. If somebody is gonna if somebody is going to,
I believe in it too.
Bro, let me tell you this: if I'm in my home, and people come into my home unwanted,
you getting shot, bro.
You are getting shot. Peppered.
To be stupid.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. Where the person put their hand, and then the person was hitting them with like a bat. Like the person tried to like open the person's door, and they hit them. That would be me.
But I'm saying, you know what it is? A lot of people think it's like gun violence, whatever. But you have to recognize it's the people behind the gun that makes it dangerous, right? It's not the gun itself. It's whoever's pulling the trigger has the ability to do whatever they want to do, right?
And some people abuse that. Like I remember one time I was at South by Southwest, and I don't know. You guys know Sean T. Johnson? He's a singer. Okay. South by Southwest is a big music festival. Common and Sway Lee were just performing. They're in the crowd with everyone. You can go meet these guys. They don't have nothing. I don't have nothing to offer them. They have nothing to okay, cool. I think the song was Black Beatles was hot at the time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I say, guys, we're in this Airbnb. I'm going home. I leave the place and I go to the Airbnb that I'm staying in. I forget the password to the house. So I'm in the boonies. I'm like this is Texas. I'm in the boonies. And this Airbnb it's an Airbnb mansion because we all pitched into it. It worked out. Forgot the password, and I'm seeing nothing but like it looks like a big creek, like a lot of. So all I'm seeing is green eyes just watching. I thought I was gonna die. I legit was like, your hand. You know what I'm saying? You can't see your hand in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, yo, I was there and I was scared. I saw a house to knock on. I said, let me knock on this door. But if I knock on this door, this guy he could kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I knocked and I stood like 10 meters away. So, excuse me, sir. I have an Airbnb. I'm not from this country. I beg. I beg. And don't say immigrant because that's a big American thing too. So I'm this brother, like, yo, I just need help, And thank God the guy helped me out. But my heart was beating. I said, am I gonna be killed by whatever those eyes are watching me in the dark? Or is he gonna put a shotgun to my chest? Like, which way would I go out? At least I can communicate with him, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, sorry to get off, but rest in peace to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish, certain people can, self-defend. I wish we had better self-defense laws, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine someone's trying to kill you and then you get them and then now you're doing time for that.
Right.
Shake my head, Anyways, that's Canada.
Canada for ya.
We got our perks here though.
Yeah. But speaking on a little lighter note, recently saw you get engaged.
Yes, I did.
How does that feel? How do you feel, man?
Smokes.
What was your journey?
I know.
Because
congratulations.
The relationship people.
Come on now. I love seeing it.
Yeah.
I love it.
You guys love, eh?
Black love too. Come on now. Black love too.
Shout out to her.
They're so cute.
Her name is Akosua.
She's Ghanaian.
Yeah, she's Ghanaian.
Come on.
So it's that Sunday, right? Akosua is Sunday.
Yeah,
she's Sunday.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Come on, talk about her. Come on now.
Give her a shout out.
Talk about her. Hi.
Babe, love, bless.
You better speak properly. Where you get cut.
No, the way how we met is we met at a conference called Legacy in 2018. 2018.
She out there saying
2018. We met at a conference and Jackie Hill and then we're all doing this poet event. And I was with my friends at the conference and one of my friends said, this girl's watching you. She said she wasn't watching me, but she was.
Okay.
But that gave me the vim to go and talk to her because I felt like, okay, if she's watching me,
Then
let me go and, say hello, you know? So, we became friends in that time for maybe 6 months. And I just really had to contemplate, do I really want to do a long distance relationship, within that time? And, I guess I said, I'm down,
Yeah.
So in that time, we just, we started dating, and just building together and learning more about each other. Even did what's it called? Counseling and stuff like that. And I feel like personally, if you know that this is someone you want to be with, you got to learn a little bit about yourself. Like all that stuff I was doing when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like that stuff it's traumatic. So I don't want to, put that on my fiance, So you got to learn about yourself. And I'm still learning about myself, So, we did counseling and all that just to learn more. And, and we still will, I suggest anyone who's in a relationship with someone that, they're serious about, I think that you should do that in general so that you can get to know each other. The earlier, the better. If you see yourself doing this for the long haul, I knew I wanted to be with this person for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? So not even just the counseling, but I knew that I wanted to be with this person for the rest of my life. So I just feel like if you're going to do that, if you know you're going to spend your time with this person, then why are you playing the games? You know what I'm saying? So there was no games. I played 0 games and I was very open, from the jump. And, I think that saved me in the relationship and it's saving me. So it's a verb, it's still happening, it's not. So, I think that's just really important, and, the proposal was beautiful. Everything worked out. She had a great,
you did a great
thank
job.
you. No, her bridesmaids, I'm saying they definitely, they helped out a lot. They made it so easy. I knew that I wanted to propose 1.5 years into the relationship. So we were planning, and I made a song and all of that. Because I just knew,
it's so beautiful.
you know what I'm saying? I knew that I wanted to do that.
Good,
so,
man.
Bought the ring mad early and was just kind of pacing. But them time that I suggest, don't buy the ring early because, this is why. You buy the ring early, so if you get into any little fight, you be like, what? Yo, I bought this ring for you. But you can't tell her, you know what I'm saying? So, brother, do yourself a favor, get it a month, you know what I'm saying? I had that 4 or 5 months beforehand. What?
Oh my
do it maybe 2 months, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I bought it, I'm breathing it I breathing hard and stuff but it was worth it.
Intentionally put money aside and be like, yo, this is the money for
yes. What happened was she came here for 3 months and I worked for the Toronto District School Board, but during that time COVID hit, so school was closed, so that was a big part of my income that was missing. So I'm like, man, I want to buy this ring. I wasn't expecting this to happen. What am I gonna do? So when she came, she actually, we really enjoy. When I go to Atlanta, I love seafood boils.
Yeah, I can see that.
They don't do it good here.
No, she taught me how to she taught me and my sister how to make it. And then one day I posted it on my IG. And 100 people said they wanted, to the point where someone came and took my scraps from what I was eating.
Oh wow!
That's how you
so
know.
I'm sitting there if this person can take my scraps, and 100 people are asking me for the seafood boil.
Might as well start what?
Everyone is tired of Captain Boils. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said they don't.
Everyone's tired.
I don't know what that is.
From that day, I said, okay, let's sell it. And then it happened. And I would say, if she didn't teach us how to do that, that helped, that basically purchased, the ring, you know what I'm saying? So, she's, one thing I learned in that situation is she's a thinker and I'm an executor, so,
she has vision.
Yeah. And, I've always been good at goal setting. That's always been
good, yeah.
So, that's kind of worked for the both of us because in that method, and that kind of helped in ways that I don't want to share nobody's business, but it's helped in ways where certain people were in trouble and financially it just boomed for us in a very short amount of time. So I love entrepreneurship aside from music,
that's good.
And my wife and my fiance. Wife soon. Wife is coming.
Wife to be.
Wifey. So with that, do you feel going back into the community stuff, do you feel community and the media pushes a narrative of there's only 3 things? You either be a rapper, a drug dealer, a basketball player, and that's all you can do in your community?
It depends on what media you're listening to. Okay. And my reasoning for that is certain people, a lot of people don't they like the idea of entrepreneurship until it gets big.
Yeah.
And then when you really start doing it, then people start to look at you a little weird. And when you have to make certain decisions, they may call you selfish. They may not understand it because you're starting to, put 2 feet deep into your, or start to, you're starting to, you're 10 toes deep in this now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's cute as a little boutique thing, but when you're really starting to do it for real, people start to come against you. So, and I think that's, I don't know, I think that's a Canadian thing though, really and truly, because it's just like, we're so big on like having a job or having a specific job. Oh, work for the school board, so it's so cool. It's so much job security. The pandemic happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then, like I went to school, I learned all this only for them to say, oh, you can't work. You know what I'm saying? Or like, actually, I can't put that on YouTube because, anyways, they're forcing you to take certain jobs. And if you don't, do those things, then, you can't. So it's just stressful. I like the idea of controlling what I make and pushing that out, but, on my terms and whatnot. So.
Right. Well, let's wrap this up. Any encouraging words? Give us some encouraging words for the youth, for the upcoming generation on pursuing their passions. What are those last few words?
Go out and enjoy, try different things. Get out of your comfort zone. Challenge yourself, whether it's even you just getting up to work out or, trying something new. I spent a lot of time with my friends growing up. We played a lot of 2K. Spent hours playing 2K.
I remember them days.
And I regret those hours spent, because if I was learning and doing different things, I wouldn't be wasting my time on a CD that rotates in the box. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Over and over. I would have done this a lot more earlier. But I'm still young. We're all still young. So I would suggest for you, this is the Everest Terence. You know what I'm saying? I'm suggesting that you kind of like, make sure that, you try different things and explore.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Well, thank you so much, Terence. Wisdom all in here. Creativity.
Yeah, the preacher man.
So thank you so much. Man. Tell them where they can find you.
Shout out. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at tpennygram. I'm going to spell it for you like Aquila and the B, okay? Please take time. TPENNYGRAM. That's it. That's on Instagram. So, check me out there. Or Terence Penny on everything else. So
YouTube, Twitter.
Literally Terence Penny. Go on Google, type Terence Penny, and you'll see.
Find him.
There's something will pop up.
Sorry, I just want to ask, where did you get the name Penny from?
Terence Ofori Penny.
That's your real last name?
My last name, yeah.
Hey.
No, Ofori. I thought Ofori was your last name this whole time.
Terence Ofori Penny.
Are you arguing with him what his last name is?
Wow.
Yeah, Ofori Penny is my whole last name.
Congratulations, you learned something new.
Penny, older Penny. So I flipped it and I turned it into Penny like the sand. So Terence Ofori Penny.
I get what you're saying now. I get what you're saying. It's not actually spelled PENNY.
No, Penny like older. Older Ofori. So it's PANIN, but the Ghanaians pronounce it Penny. So I changed it to Penny.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so TP.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right, that's all, folks, for the Juxtaposition crew. Oh, no. I lied. Our giveaway. Boom.
I like that.
It's closed.
What are we giving away?
It's closed?
It's going to be closed by the time.
Thank you for everyone that did your thing.
It's not recording.
Oh, shoot.
So you have to keep talking.
Oh, shoot. But audio. Shout out to you guys. And that's all, folks, for the Juxtaposition crew, and we're out of here. Peace.
Bless up.
Bye.